Hello guys from Plant Reviews. Today 9th of August, and I will talk now about Nerine bowdenii Ostara. Nerine bowdenii is a species of flowering plants in the family Amaryllidaceae. They are herbaceous bulbous perennials growing up to 45 centimeters tall. Even if this variety in particular is a bit smaller. I mean, it's the first year I planted it, and it is about 35-40 centimeters tall, so not very incredibly tall. It might be taller next year. About the plant, these plants are bulbous plants usually available in the spring bulb sale, and the plants have develop strap-shaped leaves, bright green, and on the from the bulbs sprouts a pretty long flower stem that ends up with this umbel of flowers. In my case, I have 6 flowers, 5 to 6 flowers on each scape. No, sorry, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, 10 flowers in this one. Nerine is commonly known as Guersney Lily or Cornish lily, even if they are neither lilies, because they belong to the family Amaryllidaceae, so they are closer relatives actually to daffodils. And they are not native in Guernsey or in Cornwall. Instead, they are native in South Africa. Other names by which this plant is known is Cape flower. That is actually a name more apt because they live in South Africa, including the Cape region. And another name is Bowden lily. The name Bowden lily derives as the species name Nerine bowdenii by the fact that the plant was named in 1904 after Athelstan Cornish Bowden, a land surveyor who sent the bulb of the plant from South Africa to England for classification. The plants usually bloom in between late summer and autumn. This one in particular blooms quite early because it's early August. Most Nerine bowdenii flower later in the year, between September and November. The Nerine bowdenii is a plant that is widely cultivated in temperate regions, especially in the UK, because it is one of the few South African bulbs that is able to be cultivated outdoors all year round. And it is hardy indeed, down to minus 15 degrees, that is about 5 degrees Fahrenheit. So it can be grown outdoors throughout most of the UK. It needs to be planted in a well-drained soil, extremely well-drained soil, and full sun, or at least partial shade. Ideally, the plant should not be disturbed for several years. The bulbs do not like disturbed. Indeed, most of the time Nerine do not bloom on the year you plant them. They tend to bloom usually the year after, or sometimes even 2 years after you plant the bulbs. Also, they bloom better if the bulbs are a bit crowded. It's recommended to divide the bulbs usually every 5 years, not too often indeed, because the bulbs do not like to be disturbed at all. The plant is a plant that also gained the Royal Horticultural Society Award for garden merit, because it's definitely one of the most elegant plants and flowers you can get in the garden. The wild form of Nerine bowdenii is a very bright pink, and I in particular love the wild form that I have, but is not in bloom yet, because it's a plant that is of an incredible beauty. It's really bright pink and blooms in a period between September and November, or actually usually between late October and November, where there's not many flowers around and really provide a splash of color that is much needed at the time of the year in the garden. This one instead, the variety Ostara, is kind of whitish pink, as you can see. And also, while the wild species, the Nerine bowdenii, is actually fragrant, is a very light fragrance, in this Nerine Ostara I couldn't detect any fragrance, unfortunately. The flowers are in this variety I have, they are pretty small. They are about 5-6 centimeters in diameter, and they are very nicely ruffled, as you can see, and they end with beautiful pink anthers and style. The plant, it is a plant that can be propagated through offsets or seeds. Peculiarity is that in Nerine the seeds are programmed for immediate germination, so they can't be stored for really long. Ideally you should plant the seeds as soon as it is ripened, just putting on the surface on the ground, not covering it, because just put it in a very moist soil, and then they will start sprouting. The plant itself, as a review, my review for this plant is is definitely the Nerine Ostara is a very elegant plant that definitely can be a very nice addition to the front or the mid part of the border. Again, the plant needs a very well drained soil, and also ideally, as you can see, the tip of the bulb, the last 2-3 centimeters, should be above the soil level. In this way, the plant is also has an additional advantage that the risk of rotting is further reduced by planting the bulb quite shallowly on the ground. As I said, this is a plant that this particular Nerine Ostara, I bought it in May, and it is in bloom already in early August. And actually other two plants, I planted 6 bulbs. I have other 2 plants that are in flower, and actually the other plants have quite spent blooms. They were already in bloom in mid-July, so I'm not too sure why this plant bloomed so early in comparison to the usual blooming time of the plant. Anyway, I have other varieties of Nerine, including the wild form, the Nerine bowdenii, and I've never had Nerine bowdenii. I cultivated it for about 3 years now, and I never had any Nerine bowdenii blooming in July or August. So I'm not too sure if this variety in particular is an early bloomer, as might appear, or is just because the storage condition of the bulbs somehow made this plant bloom earlier than expected. Another feature of Nerine bowdenii is actually that florists love this plant, and if you love cut flowers to put in a vase, Nerine bowdenii are some of the best flowers you can cultivate, because they have an extremely long lasting life as a cut flowers, at least 2 weeks, sometimes even more. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you would like to support my channel, it would be great if you can please subscribe. And actually today I am very pleased to inform you that I reached 100 subscribers. It's still pretty low number in comparison to the minimum required by YouTube of 1000 subscribers. However, is a very good achievement, and I'm very happy to for your support to my channel. If you like the video, please give a thumbs up. Otherwise, obviously, give a thumbs down, and any comment, positive or negative, is more than welcome. This way I know if I'm doing it right, or really I can improve my video, and according to your recommendations I can make the next videos better. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.